Hello, everyone, and welcome to another speed build. Today, I am bringing you the Yule/Christmas Market. Um, I also want to point out that I am not on video today. I'm still having a few little issues, but I am curious as well because I have been a faceless channel for most of this channel's life. What your thoughts are? Do you want me to continue, um, having, my pretty face shown, or do you just want to see my builds and videos? Let me know in the comments. All right, so back into this build. My original plan for this Yule market was to kind of have it like an outdoory market, and I did the build. It was a 5-minute speed build, and it wasn't like anything that like I personally would go on the gallery and download. It was something I would build for a lot, but it just didn't, it wasn't complicated enough, I guess. So I decided to switch gears and create more of a shopping center market than a, more rustic feeling market. So this is kind of a Yule/Christmas build because it's The Sims and everything is kind of focused around the Christmas season. Um, at least what would work for a Yule build at all. So it's kind of a mix of both. I thought it'd be a cute little like Christmas shopping center with some, you know, festive greenery, things like that. So that was my new plan. And I love this because it has the 3 different buildings. We have an ice rink, and I did put in the Yule bonfire, so that's kind of the nod to the Yule event. Um, at least as much as I could do. It's really, from my understanding, Yule is about, you have your Yule logs, your bonfires, you kind of celebrate light coming back to the world. And so I definitely wanted to put in the new fire pit we have for base game. It allows you to dance. It allows you to, do different activities with it. So I thought it was perfect for this build. By the way, if you do happen to be somebody who knows a little more about Yule and would like to inform me of how it really works, please leave a comment. I'd love to know how you celebrate Yule if you do. Just because it is different from what I've known and it's something I'm looking more into. I just didn't have enough time before recording this video to do so. I was kind of sad about it, but I had to get this recording done. So, because I switched gears into more of a shopping center space, I did build this in Magnolia Promenade, and it fits, but there's palm trees. So for me, it's a little weird, but if you grew up in more tropical climates, that's normal. I just don't know how much snow would actually be on the ground. I mean, I know they get snow. It happens occasionally, but so yeah, hopefully that doesn't kill your winter celebration vibes. All right. So I wanted, of course, there to be a tree because for those of you who don't know, again, this is from what I know, Christmas trees were actually, the idea behind them were actually more of a pagan thing. So I wanted to include that because in my mind, you can still have a pretty decorated tree and celebrate Yule and not Christmas. But of course, it's decorated more Christmassy because that's what I have in The Sims. So, again, kind of meshing the two to celebrations together in this build. So what I decided to do here was I have 3 different buildings. The one that has the staircase is going to be a toy shop. The one right across from it is going to be a clothing store, and then the one on the other side is actually going to be your bathroom area. I didn't want to put too much in here. I'll be honest, I've used the retail system in Get to Work, but I haven't used it in multiple builds, like multiple stores on a lot. So I didn't want to complicate things if you decided you wanted to actually play as the owner of this lot. Now, I believe I've play tested this. Everything works really well as a retail lot. However, I do have some mods installed, so I think it should still work just fine. The mod I have installed allows vendors to be spawned for anything that's placed on the lot. So I'm not sure if you'll only get one cashier or both of these will spawn as cashiers or not. But I figured that wasn't too big of a deal. It's just been a while since, I've used the retail lots in the game without this mod. If you're wondering, the mod, it is by LittleMsSam, and I cannot remember the name of it, but I will try to list the name in the description below. So, alright, so this toy store, I decided I wanted it to have that kind of old toy store vibe, maybe owned by, a mom and pop or grandma and grandpa type situation. I wanted it to feel like maybe they've been here for a while. And so they have older shelving and, all that wonderful stuff. I did use the shelving from Home Chef Hustle because it has the lights underneath it, and I thought that was fitting for a, retail store. Yeah, I do a lot of cluttering in here. There are a lot of toys on these shelves. I did size up some of these so that, they filled the space a little more. I have not play tested it to see if when you buy it and it's replaced, if it sizes up. My guess is it won't. So, heads up on that. Again, it was more for, I knew I was going to be taking pictures and I wanted the space filled. But if you're playing in this and you don't care, it should work just fine. It just, your shelves may not look quite so cluttered. So, the other thing is I did go through in this build once I was done and set everything for sale. I did test it by moving this lot into a different save file, and that seemed to have worked. I'm hoping it will work from gallery to your games. If it doesn't, it only took me about 5 minutes total to set everything on this lot for sale that were in these stores. So it really won't take long to set it up. And the good news is once it's done, it's done. If you don't know how to do that, you have a sim buy this lot and you have them go and you have them set everything for sale. At that point, you would also want to have any decorations put up from the seasons box because I do use that to do a little bit of decor. It's mostly on the walkway area between the stores. And you do have to have somebody, actually do that. It does not stay when you transfer it over. So that will not, those decorations will not show. But the other ones I put up will. So once you have set your stuff for sale, you then just have your sim sell the lot and then it will run as a retail store. If you keep them as an owner, you can't buy anything if you come to visit it as a different sim. You have to bring the owner with you. They have to open the store. It's a mess. So my recommendation would be have a sim buy it, set everything for sale, sell it so that nobody owns the lot if you're not going to actually play in this as a owner. So, I did not find that out until recently. So it is good to know. And I will be going back to a couple other builds I have that are not necessarily retail lots, but could be used as retail lots. The one is I did a Christmas tree farm last year, and I'll link to that here in the video. And I absolutely love this lot. I may have already, as of recording this, or as of when you're seeing this, not recording it, but gone back and updated that to a retail lot. I believe originally I just set it as a generic with a toy store, but what I have found doing this lot is that when you have things set for sale, people don't destroy them or try to put them into the toy boxes. So I may go back and set that one up as a retail lot, so that you can download it and actually use it as a little shopping center thing. So if I do that, I'll be updating some so you can buy Christmas trees and stuff. I think that would be cool. I don't know how it would work as, coming in from the game, but you think it would. So I'll have to see how all that works. Just an idea I'm having now as I'm discussing this. So anyway, as I said, I wanted an old world vibe with this store, but I also wanted it to have a fun vibe. So I used this colorful wallpaper and, got, these nice windows put in. And I think I pulled off a fun vibe. Downstairs, I really wanted that to feel like it was a cluttered toy store. And yeah, I pulled that off. I'm not even going to say I think I pulled that off. I pulled that off. So as much as you could in The Sims and keep it usable. So this has been play tested. You can walk through everything. I actually, in my photos for this one, went into live mode and did all the photos, so you can see Sims shopping in here. I just thought it was fitting with this being a retail lot. And yeah, I think the problem with clutter is that sometimes it can get in the way, but if it's done correctly, you can, avoid that problem. So that's why I playtest my things. I also did try very hard not to have anything floating. The lights, of course, do, but nothing should float on these shelves. I purposely kept things where you won't have weird items floating in the air. Now, if you take out some of the shelves, you might have things floating because I did, move objects on, place things. But they were in these shelves that will show up if the walls are down. Anyway, so, all right. So, kind of just putting in some lighting because every retail store has, great lighting. And trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do, I don't know, everywhere around here. So, this area here was it was blank. It needed some help. And I could not figure out what to do. I tried cluttering it up with these shelving units or display areas. Didn't like that. I tried a whole bunch of different things, which you will see as we go along. But I decided to leave this in because over the last, I don't know, maybe month or so, I have seen a few posts in different groups I'm in, Reddits I'm in, different things that have stated that people feel like it takes them too long to build and they're constantly changing things. And I don't know for a fact whether or not um, this is the case, but I think a lot of that has to do with YouTubers and how we edit videos. I have been trying very hard over the last few months to not edit too much because I think you guys need to see the process and see that I don't get everything right the first try. I don't get everything right the second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth try. And that's part of the process, and that's fine. One thing, if you're a builder or even if you're trying to do YouTube videos, to remember is it's okay to take your time with things. It's okay to delete. It's okay to, not get it right the first or second time. I think where our disconnect is that many, especially full-time YouTubers, have editing people that they hire or know or something. And these people are able to take the time to edit the video and edit all of these decision-making processes out. Just because it is technically good for kind of the flow of the video. But I'm hoping you're watching the build also to get, ideas. So that's why I figure I want to, at least with the build videos, keep these in. Now, I would love, I'll be honest, with the Occult Legacy Challenge videos I have, to be able to edit those more. I'm still learning with editing. I cannot afford to hire an editor at this point in time. But a lot of the gameplay videos are very heavily edited. So, heads up for that as well. Mine are not, because I just don't have time to do it. I work a full-time job and do some other things, side writing, etc. I am working on a novel now. Lots of stuff. I probably need to tone it back a little bit, but I do these build videos because it relaxes me. So these at this point will keep coming as long as you will watch them. So, all right. So up to the second floor of this toy store, I always intended this to be where the big items were. And I found that when you set everything for sale, I think I might have said this already, is people won't destroy them. But if you don't have the retail system, they will. So just be prepared if you download this lot just to have it, even though you can't maybe use it as a store per se. Maybe you're just gonna, let the kids play. If Sims get angry, they will destroy the dollhouses. I did hover a couple so that maybe they won't be destroyed. They're the ones against the wall. But I don't know for sure because they're set for sale, which will let me do that. So that's fun. But up here, I really wanted to focus more on bigger items, a few tables. At this point, I was done with dealing with the shelving units. So yeah, I just kind of went bigger items and then a few cluttery things. I did have fun doing this little display for the violins. I thought it was a fitting spot for it with radios behind it as well. So I did get all of this done. It's all set for sale in the main build. I do love how this turned out. It's a very cute build. We've got some decor items in here as well. Not a whole lot, just a few things. But I think this is a very cool toy store. I am looking forward to, using it in my game. I have already put it into one of my save files. And I'm planning on putting it into more. I think it's a good use of this space in Magnolia Promenade. Next door to this, I had built an art studio with an apartment above it. That video, I did that build for a game I was playing for myself, but I did record it. I didn't post it for a while, but I did record it. I also updated the lot so that it has all the new art stuff in it. Anyway, back to this build. So here, just kind of cluttering up, putting in a little bit of decor. I will state I did not do a non-decorated version of this build. If that is something you would like me to do, let me know in the comments. If I get enough comments, I will go ahead and, upload a non-decorated version of this build. I don't think it would take long to delete all of the Christmas decor out of here. And really the stores work just fine without it all. I don't know what you're going to put where this Christmas tree is in that area that I said needed something, but you could put a big, I don't know, statue or something, I don't know, up there. So, but yeah, let me know if you guys do want me to do that. I try to sometimes when I do these seasonal decor or, seasonally decorated builds. I did that with my last one, which was a Christmas vacation cabin, if you missed that. But this one I did not. Okay, so on to our clothing store. So this, I decided to, of course, use our mannequins from the retail thing. And then I thought it'd be cool to have these brought up on, pedestals and just have that look with these. I thought it was very interesting. And then, I went through all this only to realize when I went to dress these that you couldn't reach them, which wouldn't be a problem except for if you download this and want to change how they're dressed, you're going to have to put all of that back. So eventually I do change that so that it works and you can change those out with seasons, with whatever styles you want. Originally I wasn't even thinking of that part. I was like, if I can get, just get them dressed and they can sit there, but that was me. I don't know if I'm going to be playing this lot as an owner, but I'm definitely going to use it as a retail lot to visit. So for me, it wasn't a big deal if they technically were, sellable clothing items. But if you don't have the Get to Work pack and you haven't seen how this works, you dress the mannequins and then you can buy the outfit as a shopper from the mannequin directly. So that's why I wanted it to be able to actually function in-game. So you can see now they're on platforms. So that's kind of what I ended up with there. So over here, I decided a hat rack. It's really just putting in a few items here and there that can be sold. And, have that look of a nice clothing store with some various things in it. Shirts over here, just kind of cluttering it up a little bit. I did use the racks from high school years for the thrift store because you kind of can, do stuff yourself that way. It all works very well in this system. So that's one thing I do like because the mannequins work very similar to how those thrift store racks do. It's not, you don't go to the register and check out, or you don't, I don't think you even do any of that with, when you're a normal shopper. I did not play test this with owning the lot like that. So I'm assuming it should still work. All right. So the other thing is, again, cluttering it up, trying to figure out how I was going to do the area behind the cash register. Just various little things going on here. I finally decided on this counter space. And then, of course, I had to clutter that up. So that is what eventually happens there. I needed to play with the platforms because something had to happen with those. I jump around a little bit. I'm just going to warn you. I do jump around a little bit. So the clothing store itself is not as decorated for the holiday season as the toy store is. And the area by the bathroom, I don't show that on the speed build, but that is not decorated at all. I left that non-decorated, at least into the interior. I probably could have put something in there. I didn't. But that's okay. And the clothing store, I wanted to create like the little area so there's a little interest by the cash register. And then I had the idea over here that I wanted some shelving and I wanted to put some of the jewelry from Crystal Creations in. I will say I did not make it. It's all debug jewelry items and you can buy them. I'm not sure if you can wear them. I did not check. But they're there. If you want to run this as a store owner, or even if you want to have handcrafted jewelry, you could easily have a sim make the jewelry and then buy this lot, put the jewelry into it, and sell it. I am not sure if it will automatically restock is all. So that's why I use the debug, because I think that will restock. So just a heads up with that. You can see I kind of played with a few things, trying to get this to look halfway decent. That shelf was not working with me. I couldn't put the necklaces at a decent level. So that's why that moved. But I do like this setup. I think it's cute. Again, use the Home Chef Hustle shelving because definitely works with jewelry very well. Okay, and then here just kind of decorating it up a little bit. These are, I can't remember what kit those are from, but yeah, it is a kit. And yeah, nature of the beasts. I promise at some point I will do maybe some get to work builds that are focused on like just get to work and base game, but not anytime soon. Promise. It might end up being that way for like the Tawny Refresh series where I might do something with that. Not sure yet. I have to look at it. All right, so now I'm decorating. As I said, it doesn't have as much decor in it. This stuff should be fairly simple to delete out of here. It was fairly simple to put in, but it does have a few things. So I wanted it to have a festive vibe, but it's not quite as, holiday everywhere there. All right, so I do show you a little bit of what I do in here for decor. As I said, I didn't go too crazy. Now that I'm looking at it, I might, before I upload, at least throw a couple of the Christmas garlands into the hallway. But mostly, I wanted this to feel like it's an area where the stores can advertise their sales, etc. Community type hosting area, things like that. All right, so now moving back outside a little bit to finish up our build, figuring out how to make these buildings look a little bit better. I put the shopping center signs on a few sides of the building, so that's on there multiple times. Also, just trying to figure out how to get various things to work correctly. I did do a lot of play testing as I built. So you'll see cut in, cut out. You'll see sims that show up, especially here. To build in the snow, you have to have a sim on the lot and be in live mode and then go into build mode. So that's what I did. I had to have an owner for this lot as well because when you're building a retail lot, they have to own it in order to build on it in live mode. Just a heads up. All right, so ignore her plate because again, she got hungry and I was play testing things, so she ate when I wasn't looking. I was not very happy about it. But So here, kind of just playing with some things. I know I have it dark. I don't know why I didn't put it back into light mode, but um, light mode daytime. I'm I don't know what I'm thinking anymore. Um, but yeah, eventually I do, as you see. So here I wanted something behind this stall, and then I thought, this would be cool to have a sign here that almost looks like you're, entering the shopping center. So I pulled this signage from City Living and moved the stall back a little bit and was able to put another table in, so that was cool. And just kind of figuring out how I wanted this outside to finish looking. And I was debating about lights around the fire pit area, decided not to. You want to put those in, go ahead. I did put the lights from Life and Death in here originally, but after I finished the speed build, I realized that I just really didn't like how they looked once all the decoration was up from the Seasons box. So I did change those to another light. If you really like those, change them back if you have them. But that did change, and you'll see that in the images. So yeah, now I'm just kind of, adding in all the fun seasonal stuff. Um, I love it. I think it looks really cute, very festive, and definitely has that vibe I was going for. Decided a tree behind our, musician was needed. I believe I might have changed that out again after, um, just because it didn't look festive enough. So heads up on that. Added in these, these nice lit up trees and a few more decor items. Just kind of figuring out where things go at this point and what will fit well in here. I also decided the trees looked weird. Plus, if you do decide you want to keep those trees year round and you take down the decor, um, not having the pots there made no sense. There is flooring, like cement, you know, underneath all that snow. I did go through and do all that type of stuff. So I went into regular build mode where it's summer and did a lot of that type of work outside of the speed build because I didn't want to ruin the vibe of, Christmas. So here I thought I wanted some planters. Originally I was thinking of just putting like bushes down, but I thought planters would fit better. So I'm going through doing these planters. I get everything kind of situated, but again, after this speed build, I do go back and change how those look a little bit and how the bushes look. They were going into the building, and I guess I just didn't think about it. Normally I do. It's weird. But I did shrink these down so they're not as big, and I think it looks better. Looks a little more, not as overgrown, I guess. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but um, I did do that. These are the new festive bushes from our celebration event that has been going on. I'm assuming if you don't have these, the game is going to replace them with the base game ones because the base game are exactly the same, just no lights. So that's my hope anyway. But what I like about these is even if you don't want to keep the seasonal vibe and have this, year-round shopping, you can change the color so they're just white lights and it would still work. Um, so, just a idea if you don't want to go through and put all those bushes back in. Uh, it does take a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. All right, so we are coming up on the end of the build. And as I said, I did make a few changes afterward, but they're all for the better, and none of them are anything too drastic. So that is good news there. All right, so here's our final build. I did do most of the photos at night. I just thought it looked cool. So you can see all the lights lit up It's really, really a lot of fun. So I'm going to let you look at the photos and I'll be right back. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I had a lot of fun doing it. The day this goes up is Christmas Eve. So I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas who celebrate and happy holidays to those who don't celebrate Christmas but do celebrate something else. All right. I do hope you enjoyed this again. Enjoy this nice little scenic view of the shopping center. And I will see you on Friday with an Occult Legacy Challenge and next week with another video. Bye now.